It's here! Avengers Endgame has arrived in cinemas. 11 years and 22 films leading up to this, the culmination of the Infinity Saga that began with Iron Man in 2008. For fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this movie is everything. And while Spider-Man Far From Home is now supposedly the conclusion of Phase 3, after seeing Endgame, it really feels like this is the end of Phase 3. Now, while this is a non-spoiler review for Avengers Endgame, there will be some spoilers for Avengers Infinity War in this video. So if for some reason you haven't seen Infinity War yet, this is your spoiler warning for that film. Anthony and Joe Russo of course returned to direct the fourth Avengers movie, which was shot back to back with Infinity War. And in this movie, our heroes are dealing with their loss. Thanos, the villain over this Infinity Saga, has wiped out half of all living things after collecting all of the Infinity Stones in Infinity War. And now our heroes have to figure out a way to bring everyone back. Straight up, this movie was unbelievably satisfying, as someone who's followed all of these movies since the original Iron Man. In fact, I have reviews for all of the MCU films on this channel. As a culmination of now 23 films, this movie rewards you for having been invested. And while newcomers might be a little lost and confused with this film, there's probably enough to keep everyone entertained. Now, this is a 3-hour movie, clocking in at 181 minutes. No post-credit scene this time either, but boy will you feel it as the first 2 hours tick over, where it honestly felt like I was watching a drama for most of the time. The action is scaled back quite a bit until really the last hour, which features just some of the greatest comic book action ever put to screen, and acts as a pure love letter to the fans who have followed the franchise. Don't go into this movie expecting Infinity War Part 2 though, as this really feels like its own film. For the most part, I really enjoyed myself, and I would actually say I enjoyed Endgame more than Infinity War. This movie flows a lot better than that film did. Without having to worry about so many characters, I could actually get a good grasp of locations we were visiting and characters coming in and out of the movie. But there were definitely times where I was waiting for things to move along. The first 2 hours can drag, making the movie feel overlong. Yes, most of the scenes are vital to what happens, but other moments exist more as fan service, which, as fun as they were, could have been cut and made this a tighter film. I'm excited but also dreading the 5.5 hour viewing of Infinity War and Endgame back to back. The character beats are all there, and as all the best Marvel movies have done, the Russo brothers make you want to spend as much time as possible with these characters. You'll laugh with them, you'll cry with them, these characters all feel like real people, and you'll appreciate having gotten to know them over all of these years. Every moment with these characters feels like a moment truly shared, and it's really remarkable that 10 plus years into this universe, Kevin Feige and everyone involved can still make you really care about these characters, to the point of them really feeling like a family in some way. On top of this, the visual effects work in this film is definitely a step above what we saw in Infinity War, with some truly stunning moments and sequences that of course I won't spoil in this review. Alan Silvestri's score is fantastic in this film, where despite this movie being a lot darker and moodier than previous Marvel films, still feels like it fits in perfectly with what has come before, and delivers in big ways where it needs to. Endgame is about delivering a satisfying conclusion for fans, and while there'll be many moments that will have fans discussing for years, I don't think Endgame is going to be as divisive as a movie as something like Star Wars The Last Jedi. There are moments and decisions that I'm sure won't be for everyone, even though I was fond of them and understood them, but that's fine because every choice made in this movie still feels earned, with a reasonable explanation available as to why certain things happen the way that they do. Avengers Endgame is a movie that newcomers can probably still have a fun time with, but you'll probably be a bit confused as to who's who and what's happening. There are some sections that even fans will probably have a hard time wrapping their head around. But this is a movie for those invested in this universe and in these characters. The end of the Infinity Saga feels bittersweet as we close this chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but boy is it a satisfying close. I'm sure if you're watching this review, you've probably already seen the movie or you're planning to see it, but in case you haven't, your money will be well spent, especially if you see it on a big screen with a passionate crowd of fans surrounding you. Avengers Endgame is the real deal. It has its fair share of issues as any movie does, but this is the epic conclusion that fans have hoped for, and we got it. Avengers Endgame gets a 9.2 out of 10 for me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here if you want to fix. Bye guys.